Hello and welcome to Quiz Time. I'm Jess, and today I'm asking how well do you know your general knowledge and events of the 1940s? So, 100 questions coming up. Let's go. Which war's end inspired the 1945 slogan, "The war to end all wars has ended at last"? World War II, Korean War, or Cold War? World War II. What became a popular evening pastime in the 1940s, featuring only sound and no moving images? Radio dramas, phonograph stories, or silent film readings? Radio dramas. In 1939, what new colour was introduced for the first time in crayons by Crayola? Midnight blue, jungle green, or atomic red? Midnight blue. Which legendary boxer earned the nickname Brown Bomber for his knockout victories in the 1930s and 40s? Sugar Ray Robinson, Rocky Marciano, or Joe Louis? Joe Louis. What significant event happened on the morning of December 7th, 1941, described as a day that will live in infamy? Hiroshima bombings, Normandy landings, or Pearl Harbor attack? It was the Pearl Harbor attack. In 1938, which world-changing discovery earned Otto Hahn the title of Father of Nuclear Fission? Neutron radiation effects, splitting uranium atoms, or radioactive decay theory? Splitting uranium atoms. What was rationed in the US during World War II, leading to the creation of substitute recipes for baked goods? Sugar, eggs, or flour? Sugar. Which event in 1944 involved a large-scale Allied invasion known as the turning point of World War II? Normandy landings, Battle of Midway, or Pearl Harbor? Normandy landings. What groundbreaking 1939 film introduced the world to the vibrant wonders of Technicolor on screen? Gone with the Wind, The Wizard of Oz, or Snow White? The Wizard of Oz. Which 1940s dance craze, featuring energetic and acrobatic moves, gained popularity through swing music? Lindy Hop, Charleston, or Jitterbug? The Jitterbug. What popular soft drink, introduced in the 1940s, became known for its citrus flavour and military association? Mountain Dew, 7-Up, or Dr. Pepper? Mountain Dew. What nickname was given to the 1940s generation of women working in factories while men fought in the war? Liberty Ladies, Rosie the Riveters, or Homefront Heroes? Rosie the Riveters. Which 1940s toy, created from war surplus, became famous for walking downstairs when pushed? Slinky, Yo-Yo, or Hula Hoop? The Slinky, and still popular now. What was the primary function of the Enigma machine during World War II? Encoding messages, mapping terrain, or predicting the weather? Encoding messages. Which 1930s aviation pioneer became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean? Amelia Earhart, Harriet Quimby, or Bessie Coleman? Amelia Earhart. Which 1940s radio drama famously caused panic among listeners who mistook it for a real alien invasion? Lights Out, The Shadow, or War of the Worlds? War of the Worlds. Which country was the first to fall victim to the atomic bomb in August 1945, changing history forever? Japan, Germany, or Italy? It was Japan. In 1941, which classic Christmas song by Bing Crosby became the best-selling single of all time? White Christmas, Jingle Bells, or Silent Night? White Christmas. What large-scale technological innovation of the 1940s drastically improved long-distance communication during World War II? Radar, jet engines, or personal computers? Radar. In 1942, which new type of musical movie captivated audiences with its blend of music, comedy, and war themes? Casablanca, The Great Zelga, or Yankee Doodle Dandy? Yankee Doodle Dandy. What popular 1940s fashion trend, worn by men and women alike, became a symbol of wartime resilience and practicality? Utility clothing, swing skirts, or leather jackets? Utility clothing. Which 1943 film, directed by Michael Curtiz, popularised the famous line, "Here's looking at you, kids"? Gone with the Wind, Citizen Kane, or Casablanca? Casablanca. During World War II, which invention revolutionized the efficiency of American wartime production and factory work? The assembly line, computer calculations, or diesel engines? Assembly line. What was the name of the first African-American actor to win an Academy Award in 1940? James Earl Jones, Sidney Poitier, or Hattie McDaniel? Hattie McDaniel. In the early 1940s, which form of transportation became the most popular for domestic travel across the United States? Railroads, aeroplanes, or cars? It was railroads. Which event, occurring in 1949, marked the beginning of the US military alliance known as NATO? Treaty of Brussels, Berlin Airlift, or formation of NATO? Formation of NATO. What 1940s innovation made air travel faster and more accessible to the masses, reducing transatlantic flight times? Jet engine, supersonic plane, or commercial airliners? Jet engine. Which 1943 song by Glenn Miller became an anthem of the World War II era, symbolising hope and unity? In the Mood, Moonlight Serenade, or Chattanooga Choo Choo? In the Mood. Which 1945 political decision led to the creation of the United Nations as a post-war peacekeeping organization? Yalta Conference, Potsdam Agreement, or Tehran Conference? Yalta Conference. Which popular American food brand began producing ready-to-eat meals in the 1940s, specifically for military use? Heinz, Hormel, or Campbell's? Hormel. What 1947 scientific breakthrough by Edwin Hubble helped redefine the universe's size and led to the Big Bang Theory? Hubble's law, quantum theory, or theory of relativity? Hubble's law. Which 1942 Disney animated feature became an instant classic with its memorable animal characters and song tracks? Bambi, Pinocchio, or Dumbo? Bambi. In 1948, which new form of television technology gave birth to modern broadcasting with clearer image quality? Colour TV, widescreen TV, or cathode ray tube? Colour TV. Which popular radio programme, known for its comedy sketches, entertained millions during the 1940s with unforgettable characters? The Lone Ranger, The Jack Benny Show, or Fibber McGee and Molly? The Jack Benny Show. What major 1944 battle marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany, with Allied forces liberating France? Battle of Stalingrad, Battle of the Bulge, or Battle of Normandy? Battle of Normandy. Which technological development in the 1940s was vital for the development of the modern computer? Turing machine, transistor, or vacuum tube? The vacuum tube. Which 1940s toy designed by Ruth Handler would later become one of the world's most iconic dolls? Barbie, Baby Ruth, or Raggedy Ann? Barbie. Which nation's 1944 invasion led to the collapse of one of the most powerful empires in history? Nazi Germany, United States, Soviet Union, or France? United States. What was the primary purpose of the 1941 Lend-Lease Act, which was signed by US President Franklin Roosevelt? To create peacekeeping force, to establish a wartime draft, or to provide military aid to Allied nations? To provide military aid to Allied nations. Which world leader's 1945 death led to a reshuffling of global alliances and the emergence of the Cold War? Franklin D. Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, or Joseph Stalin? Franklin D. Roosevelt. Which 1941 film adaptation of a stage play became a hallmark of the film noir genre? Citizen Kane, The Maltese Falcon, or It's a Wonderful Life? The Maltese Falcon. Which innovation in the 1940s brought music into homes via a portable device, revolutionizing personal entertainment? Record players, MP3 players, or cassette tapes? Record players. Which country's occupation during World War II led to the formation of the 1944 resistance movement called the Free French? France, Poland, or Norway? France. There's no trick questions. Which 1943 World War II film starred Ingrid Bergman and Cary Grant and became an enduring cinematic classic? Casablanca, For Whom the Bell Tolls, or Notorious? Notorious. Which famous 1945 radio address marked the United States' declaration of the end of World War II in the Pacific? VJ Day announcement, D-Day broadcast, or atomic bomb speech? VJ Day announcement. Which 1940s breakthrough allowed for the mass production of synthetic rubber vital for wartime and civilian needs? The Boona process, the Synthetic Fibre Act, or the Nylon Revolution? The Boona process. Which Hollywood star of the 1940s was known for his roles in films like The Big Sleep and was also a war hero? John Wayne, Clark Gable, or Humphrey Bogart? Humphrey Bogart. In 1949, which global event led to the formation of the People's Republic of China under communist rule? Treaty of Versailles, Japanese surrender, or Chinese Civil War victory? Chinese Civil War victory. Which 1940s movie director is often credited with creating the film noir genre, influencing crime dramas for decades? Alfred Hitchcock, Orson Welles, or John Huston? John Huston. Which 1940s era president was the first to successfully develop and drop an atomic bomb during World War II? Harry S. Truman, Franklin D. Roosevelt, or Dwight D. Eisenhower? Harry S. Truman. In 1942, which wartime event marked the first major defeat of Japan, shifting the balance in the Pacific Theatre? Battle of Midway, Battle of Iwo Jima, or Battle of the Coral Sea? Battle of Midway. Which famous 1940s song by the Andrews Sisters became a rallying cry during World War II, symbolising American unity? In the Mood, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, or Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree? Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. Which international crisis in 1948 caused the United States to begin the Berlin airlift to supply a divided city? Soviet blockade of Berlin, the Cuban Missile Crisis, or the Korean War? Soviet blockade of Berlin. In 1947, which novel by Jack Kerouac would later become a defining work of the American Beat generation? On the Road, Catcher in the Rye, or The Grapes of Wrath? On the Road. In 1946, which American car manufacturer introduced the first model with a sleek aerodynamic design? Chrysler, Ford, or Chevrolet? Chrysler. Which technological advancement in 1945 played a crucial role in the end of World War II, changing warfare forever? Atomic bomb, advanced radio systems, or jet fighters? Atomic bomb. Which famous 1945 song became a symbol of wartime optimism, often sung by soldiers during World War II? Over the Rainbow, The White Cliffs of Dover, or We'll Meet Again? We'll Meet Again. Which event in 1948 led to the creation of the independent state of Israel, changing the Middle East forever? Balfour Declaration, UN Partition Plan for Palestine, or Israeli Declaration of Independence? Israeli Declaration of Independence. In 1942, the United States entered World War II after Japan's surprise attack on which American military base? Pearl Harbor, Guam, or Manila? Pearl Harbor. Which military operation in 1944 led to the liberation of France from Nazi occupation, a turning point in World War II? D-Day invasion, Operation Market Garden, or Battle of the Bulge? D-Day invasion. Which famous 1940s TV show, known for its Western theme, was a household favourite during the early days of television? The Lone Ranger, Bonanza, or Gunsmoke? The Lone Ranger. In 1949, which world leader was the first to propose the idea of peaceful coexistence with capitalist nations? Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong, or Nikita Khrushchev? Nikita Khrushchev. Which iconic American singer-songwriter active in the 1940s later became a symbol of the civil rights movement with his powerful voice? Sam Cooke, Nat King Cole, or Ray Charles? Nat King Cole. In 1944, which major event saw the United States and Allied forces fight to liberate the Philippines from Japanese control? Battle of Leyte Gulf, Battle of Okinawa, or Battle of Midway? Battle of Leyte Gulf. Which famous 1940s comedy film featuring a lovable dog and a team of adventurers became a hit in post-World War II America? Old Yeller, Lassie Come Home, or The Adventures of Rin Tin Tin? Lassie Come Home. Which 1940s event marked the beginning of the Cold War as tensions between the US and the Soviet Union escalated? Berlin blockade, Korean War, or Cuban Missile Crisis? Berlin blockade. Which famous British monarch who reigned through the 1940s became a symbol of resilience and strength during World War II? King George VI, Queen Elizabeth II, or Prince Philip? King George VI. Which US military strategy used during World War II in the Pacific involved island hopping, bypassing heavily fortified areas to reach strategic islands? Scorched Earth, Blitzkrieg, or leapfrogging? Leapfrogging. Which 1940s breakthrough by American scientist Richard Feynman revolutionized the field of quantum mechanics and theoretical physics? Feynman diagrams, the Manhattan Project, or the theory of relativity? Feynman diagrams. Like I said, if the answer is in the question, it's not a trick. Which highly influential 1940s radio show broadcast across America was known for its drama series featuring superheroes like Superman? The Shadow, Superman radio series, or The Lone Ranger? Superman radio series. Which 1940s fashion trend, particularly popular among women, emphasized sleek silhouettes, sharp shoulders, and elegant hats? New Look, greaser fashion, or mod style? New Look. Which pivotal 1940s international agreement laid the foundation for the post-war economic order and led to the creation of IMF and World Bank? NATO formation, Treaty of Versailles, or Bretton Woods Agreement? Bretton Woods Agreement. Which famous World War II battle fought in 1943 resulted in the defeat of German forces and marked a turning point in the North African campaign? Battle of El Alamein, Battle of Stalingrad, or Battle of the Bulge? Battle of El Alamein. Which iconic American car, first produced in 1949, became a symbol of the post-war prosperity and design innovation? Chevrolet Corvette, Cadillac Series 62, or the Ford Mustang? Cadillac Series 62. Which 1947 conflict led to the formation of the State of Israel and ignited a decade-long dispute with the Middle East? Arab-Israeli War, Six-Day War, or Yom Kippur War? Arab-Israeli War. Which iconic 1940s Western actor made his big break in Stagecoach, becoming a Hollywood legend? Roy Rogers, Gary Cooper, or John Wayne? John Wayne. Which 1940s science fiction magazine introduced readers to Isaac Asimov's Foundation series? Amazing Stories, Astonishing Science Fiction, or Galaxy Science Fiction? Astounding Science Fiction. Which, in 1948, which country became the first to gain independence from British colonial rule in the Indian subcontinent? India, Pakistan, or Sri Lanka? India. Which 1940s technological innovation developed by Bell Labs played a crucial role in the creation of modern electronics and computers? Transistor, vacuum tube, or integrated circuit? Transistor. Which 1943 musical featuring Julie Garland became famous for the song Over the Rainbow and has remained an enduring classic? Meet Me in St. Louis, Singing in the Rain, or The Wizard of Oz? The Wizard of Oz. Which pivotal 1944 military operation aimed at pushing Nazi forces out of France began with the Allied D-Day landings? Operation Overlord, Operation Barbarossa, or Operation Torch? Operation Overlord. Which legendary American actress active in the 1940s became known for her roles in films like The Maltese Falcon and To Have and Have Not? Bette Davis, Lauren Bacall, or Joan Crawford? Lauren Bacall. Which 1940s food product invented by Richard Hellman became a sandwich staple in American households? Peanut butter, mayonnaise, or ketchup? Mayonnaise. Which famous political figure served as the British Prime Minister during World War II and became a symbol of courage and perseverance? Winston Churchill, Neville Chamberlain, or Clement Attlee? Winston Churchill. Which landmark 1940s movie, directed by Orson Welles, was famous for its innovative storytelling and complex narrative structures? Citizen Kane, The Third Man, or The Grapes of Wrath? Citizen Kane. Which iconic 1940s television show became a nationwide hit for its portrayal of family values, setting the stage for post-war American television? I Love Lucy, The Ed Sullivan Show, or The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet? The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. Which 1936 book by Margaret Mitchell became a cultural phenomenon and was later adapted into a blockbuster film? Wuthering Heights, Rebecca, or Gone with the Wind? Gone with the Wind. In 1947, which famous scientific expedition led to the Thor hero Dahl demonstrated that South Americans could have settled in Polynesia using rafts? Kon-Tiki expedition, Endurance expedition, or Beagle voyage? The Kon-Tiki expedition. Which pioneering 1940s African-American baseball player broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball, joining the Brooklyn Dodgers? Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, or Willie Mays? Jackie Robinson. Which famous 1940s comic strip featuring a dog and a boy introduced Charlie Brown and Snoopy to readers across America? Calvin and the Hobbes, Peanuts, or Garfield? Peanuts. Which 1948 book by George Orwell presented a dystopian view of the future and coined terms like Big Brother, Animal Farm, Brave New World, or 1984? 1984, a classic read still now. Which 1940s world leader was the first to be tried for crimes against humanity at the Nuremberg trials? Hermann Göring, Adolf Eichmann, or Rudolf Hess? Hermann Göring. Which 1940s breakthrough in agriculture involving synthetic fertilizers significantly boosted crop yields worldwide? Green Revolution, industrial farming, or organic movement? Green Revolution. Which 1940s Hollywood starlet became known as America's sweetheart for her performances in musicals like Meet Me in St. Louis? Judy Garland, Shirley Temple, or Marilyn Monroe? Judy Garland. Which 1945 event marked the end of the World War II in Europe, leading to celebrations known as VE Day, Fall of Berlin, German surrender, or liberation of Paris? German surrender. Victory in Europe Day. Which groundbreaking medical discovery in 1943 credited to Alexander Fleming changed the treatment of bacterial infection? Penicillin, insulin, or sulfur drugs? Penicillin. Which 1941 film by Disney introduced audiences to an elephant with oversized ears who could fly? Dumbo, Bambi, or Pinocchio? It's Dumbo. Which famous 1940s musical duo became known for their upbeat performances and patriotic songs during World War II? The Andrews Sisters, the Everly Brothers, or the Inkspotts? The Andrews Sisters. Which 1930s skyscraper in New York City was nicknamed the Cathedral of Commerce for its grandeur and influence? Chrysler Building, Empire State Building, or Woolworth Building? Woolworth Building. And your last one, which 1942 musical starred Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby, introducing the song White Christmas to the world? Holiday Inn, Blue Skies, or Yankee Doodle Dandy? It was Holiday Inn. So how did you do today? Drop your score in the comments below and please like and subscribe so you get notified every time we post a new quiz. And join us next time on Quiz Time.